You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Grimm After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Grimm After Show.
Welcome back, Grimsters. We're here talking Grimm, episode 17, season 3, Synchronicity.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm your host, Zach Wilson. Joining me on tonight's panel, as always, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. Come
Hi,
on.
everyone. Yael Tygiel here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dillon Chance.
And let's jump right in. This was an interesting episode.
Yeah.
I'm excited Grimm was back. We had a random hiatus week last week. I think I even saw on the writers' Twitter, they were like, we don't know why we have this week off.
Yeah.
But no
one
more
knows
breaks.
why.
No more breaks for the rest of the season. They did say that.
This is it.
We are
going to
go straight through until the finale, which I don't know what date that is exactly off the top of my
I
head.
think it's
I'm scared.
the 20th, maybe?
Of May?
Oh, no, wait. That might be the day that we... Of May?
Because we have 5 episodes left. We have 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
I will
Oh.
find out what the date is and tweet it out.
Please.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Let me know.
But we open this quote as we open this episode as we always do with our quote. We open this quote. In all chaos, there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was and the quote is by Carl Jung. For anyone interested, who Juliette quoted in this episode as well. So there was a little synchronicity there.
See what you did and they did.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a very poignant quote talking about how, like, even when it seems like there's insanity, there's a logic to everything.
There's a method to the madness.
Exactly. And we certainly got a little bit of that. I mean, we got a little bit more Grimm lore explained.
Yay. Finally.
Finally. It's been bothering me since the beginning. Like, how do they know he's a Grimm?
Yep.
I've asked that since day one. How did they know? He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he didn't vote or
Yeah.
anything like that. But, like, it's like they literally say, maybe it's time you found out.
I just can't believe he didn't ask. And I'm really glad he was like, oh, I should have asked. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I should have.
I guess I should have asked sooner.
Yeah.
That was the quote.
Yeah.
God, Nick.
Nick.
There's so many questions I need you to just go ask them and clarify.
It's like he accepted this and was like, oh, okay, I'm this
Like,
thing.
he doesn't ask the question of, like, why the city, there's tons of Vessin everywhere, one Grimm.
He never asks any of these things. We should start a Twitter hashtag. Questions Nick should ask, and then just.
Well, you always have to have
Yeah.
your main character a little bit clueless so
Yeah.
that we can get information
Yeah, but
while he does.
He just hasn't asked. How many seasons we're in? 3 seasons in, and now he's like, huh, I wonder how they know.
Yeah, but we do find out, and it's because when they vote, somehow the Grimm's eyes become something so dark, black is too weak a word, which is a creepy thought, and they wouldn't even try to show us on the show. I think they just figured we can't show you something like that. It's something beyond.
I think that's because then we would be scared of Nick.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to love Nick.
And it's like the eyes is a portal, as the classic theme of eyes,
Right.
and that these eyes show them a portal into themselves. They see the darkness of the Vessin within them, which is an interesting point, and I think it speaks to a larger thing. Maybe if we ever get into origins of Vessin, like why there are Vessin and why there are Grimms, and where did that spring from? Some kind of dark magic or something that led to it, because Monroe basically implies that Vessin are all dark. Like that's the dark side of people.
Interesting.
What do you guys think of the whole thing?
I didn't think about that much. You really
Yeah.
went into it. But I do think that I thought it was more of they just, because they've said before they don't like to see themselves like that. They were talking about how they don't like to vogue because it's not embarrassing, but it's their inner selves, and they try not to, they stay in person more than often.
Which is weird because it's like your species. It's
Right.
like wearing it's like as if it was your race that you could conceal,
Yeah.
in a big way.
It's the vulnerable part of you that you're exposing. And I think that that's another reason why they don't like to see, because they're seeing not just the vulnerable side, but they're seeing like the deepest, darkest secrets that they keep within that vulnerable side.
Yeah.
And
He sees me.
Yeah.
And in a sense, like for all of us, we have that kind of inner passion, that inner being that it sort of can be passed down from your parents to parent to child and so on, just by who you're raised with, what you go through in life, because there's somewhat of a line with your parents and what you get, and common experiences breed similar people.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that it's like these personalities that are so built into them, and like, Monroe is good in spite of being a blue bot, not because of it.
Right.
Well, I imagine it's like if you had a deep, dark secret and that there's one person in the world who sees it written on your face. And so I imagine that Monroe, who is a good guy and has a good heart, still sees, like written on his face that that Nick can see that he is a killer. That's who he is on the inside, even though he fights it.
And I guess they have to sort of learn to look past that. It's interesting that they don't see it when they're not vogued.
Right.
At all. It's just people. That's like everyone else. That's something hidden in him. The Grimm has the ability to see into your darkest soul, and that makes him want to kill you.
And I love that the solution is so simple.
Yeah.
Sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
So now Nick can be the best man. Was the whole thing that got us here.
Wearing
Was like,
sunglasses at a, what did they say?
I hope it's an outdoor
A
wedding.
wedding
because
at
otherwise-
night.
I feel like the solution could have been, we'll do it during the day so you can wear sunglasses.
Yeah.
Not just, you'll just wear sunglasses. Who cares what the theme or...
Oh, sorry, I'm blind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't. I'm the best man, but I'm blind. Don't worry about it.
People are going to be like, why are you wearing sunglasses?
Yeah.
Take your sunglasses off
You know,
all night
and
long.
You know the wedding's not going to go
No.
that smoothly.
No
Somebody's
way.
going to knock his sunglasses off, and then they'll vogue because they're drunk, as you would be at a wedding.
You don't know how Vesson weddings are. Maybe they're dry.
No, they're going to be drunk. Most of the Vesten have German names. They're going to be German roots. They're drunk.
Making assumptions.
Yeah.
I'm just
Where do
kidding.
you think Oktoberfest
I
came
would
from?
never go to a dry wedding.
Peter Stein. All right, we're moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Let's get into the big... I mean, this was an interesting episode because this is, I think, the most serialized episode of Grimm in all 3 seasons. There is not at all a Vesson of the Week.
I was
Not spread over 2
I was
episodes.
so happy.
I mean, it's great. It's what I've wanted, like, this show to sort of become, like, to go away. Like, not to lose it entirely, because that's fun, like, seeing all the new creatures. But to get that more serialized aspect that we got. Because this... Well, we were breaking this episode down. It was basically, it goes from, it's Meisner and the Hexen baby into, like, when we meet Kelly, and then they travel to Portland, and this whole storyline, that's it.
Yeah.
There's a little beep with the best man thing, and that's about it.
I expected it to become a 2-parter. I don't know why.
I did too.
I felt like Kelly wasn't going to get Adalind to Nick's house until the last 5 minutes.
Well, that's the thing. It sort of is when you have this like truly serialized show now. Is that it is a 2-parter, but it's a 5-parter as we just keep going to the end of the season. It can really stretch into a season. We can travel with these characters. That's what I love about serialized television as opposed to episodic. It's fun, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. When we open, we see Adalind and Meisner on the run, and they're like, he's like, wait here. I'm going to go check. She's like, what if it's not safe and you get hurt? He's like, it'll be safe. Don't worry about it.
Because he was awesome.
He basically, Meisner turns her, I got this. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, baby. I got it.
Is that what he said? He said,
did
don't you
say
worry,
that.
baby.
That was
that was the
between the
quote.
lines, yeah.
Don't worry, babe. I got this. That's what I
problem, babe.
imagined you were trying
Well,
to
then he rushes in, and like, even though there are 2 guys stalking him from different vantage points, he's just like, bam, 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 smack.
It was
Dead.
beautiful.
You forgot that he came down from a tree. He climbed a tree in that short
Drop,
amount of time.
smack, dead.
You forgot that he was holding a gun and never used it.
Ha, he doesn't need to.
Because he knows you can't. That would alert everybody
it would.
nearby.
Yeah, but he could have put it, it was in his hand and he didn't even, I would loved it. It was beautiful.
Pure
He just,
tactics.
he just starts smacking it. Like, that was, Matt Meisner is one of the most badass people in
And
this show.
I don't think he's Vesson. I just think he's awesome.
It's
Right?
so interesting. Like, I keep wondering that when we watch Meisner, because he's so good at fighting, but he never vogues, and, like, he's been in plenty of emotional situations. You have to imagine he would have if he wasn't, like, if he was a Vesson, if he's not Kershite Stolishkenen.
Yeah, that.
Which they kind of gave a hint that either the royals were that, or something more than just a human or a Vesson.
Well, that's what we're starting to get into with this baby, because we get more of this baby's powers in this episode, more demonstrative, and like Kelly goes into it, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but like this baby has a lot of power, and that's why Victor and everyone are trying to hunt it down. There's something in royal blood that's so rare, because it must be something about how they're brought about, how they are brought to life, maybe the combination of Hexenbeast and royal.
I don't know. I mean, what's his name? Sean Renard, captain. He
Yeah.
doesn't have any powers like that. He's not doing anything crazy.
Well, he
He's
was
a
able to,
Hexenbeast.
but he was able to cure Juliette.
That's because he drank something.
he did. He drank that.
That was to purify him.
Right.
That purified him to bring out his inner, like, to bring the goodness of the royal, almost like a Prince Charming, to make him into Prince Charming for a moment, to almost, if you think about it, as wiping away his past sins. It prepared him to go be Prince Charming and wake Juliet up like Sleeping Beauty.
I
Right.
see.
And that was, so there's something, at least that was my understanding of it. There's something about being a royal that is powerful without being a Vesson.
Well, before we get into that, I want to go back to Meisner.
Yes.
Okay.
Adalind.
Adalizer.
Or Meisnerland.
Look, here's the thing.
Meisnerland.
For any writers of any show listening to this, when you're naming characters that you think might potentially have the slightest chance of hooking up, make their names like
Monroe
fit together.
Monroe
That was
Rosalee.
too easy. It almost like didn't want to do it because it was so easy, but it's perfect.
You know what, though? I don't think, because I was...
Can you guys blend Nick and Juliet? Nickliet?
Newliet.
Jick.
Juliet? Jick.
Jick.
I don't like that one.
I really do. But so Meisner originally was supposed to be someone that Renard couldn't really trust. They were, in previous episodes, he's supposed to be someone that's looking out for himself. We can't really trust him. We don't know what he wants and what he's doing. And then they ended up making him, I guess, a love interest, or at least we decided he was a love interest. And they were like, oh, what a good idea. So I don't think we can blame the writers for the names.
I'm
just saying.
kidding. I like the name Meisner and I like Adalind. It's just,
I don't like Adalind.
it's really hard to keep calling them.
like Adalind.
I don't like
It's
that
hard to
name.
keep calling them Madalind.
Or
Adalizer.
Adalizer.
Adalizer. Either one is complicated.
Adalizer.
Anyway, moving away from the shipping for a moment. Don't worry, we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it.
Well, because they...
We'll get back to it, Yael. But before they get to there, what I know you're about to talk about, they have to see the truck. Like, they find Adalind, they get her in. They're getting her into this van, and then, we don't know what's going on, and then the gun just shoots into the air. We don't know why. I mean, it's the baby. That one I think was the baby. And then there's just this dude's just his throat just opens up. We don't even see anyone. A ghost that just slit its throat.
Yeah.
And then a silent knife attack in the back. And I'm sitting like, oh, who is it? I mean, I'd seen the preview, so I know who it was. But and I'm like, come on.
know.
And then Kelly pops out. Grimm back.
Yeah, Mama Grimm.
Mama Grimm. Mama Grimm is back. And just killing people like nothing, like breathing, which is totally Kelly's rap sheet.
Yeah.
It's just she kills.
She's way more awesome.
And
than
she
Nick.
says a little bit later, she doesn't trust anyone she's not close enough to kill. That's the world she's raised in. That's her inner self.
Yeah.
Is just a murder machine.
Which is great when we finally see her and Nick working together.
Yeah. I mean, it's two sides of a coin.
Yeah.
So they get on the plane.
But wait.
But before they're loading Adalind onto the plane.
Yeah.
And then we have the moment where we know they have to say goodbye.
Well, before that, before that, this is not about Meisner. It's that Kelly, they don't know who she is.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who she is. No one knows who she is.
No one knows.
Like,
And like you're thinking back, like, how did they not cross? How did Adalind and...
But also, like, they're trusting that this woman who just beat up the other people that came to take her, like, she could also be kidnapping you for your baby.
No, because they know that they're expecting a woman from the resistance.
Yeah, but...
And they're expecting to get on a plane with her. And she knows just the amount that she's supposed to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there could be some elaborate scheme to put in a new woman.
That's all I wanted.
But
that's all I wanted.
That seems like a stretch. Like, the Virat just... That's not their style.
Yeah, but they've been there for like 3 hours waiting, they said. They knew ahead of time. They were there and ready.
Mm-hmm.
They could have easily found out that it was supposed to be a woman and replaced her. I'm just saying.
And then had her kill 6 of their own people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just letting them kidnap her?
Yes.
That's very...
Like, they'd already gotten her. Like, it was...
elaborate.
All right. Anyway, so she says goodbye.
How does she say goodbye?
She kisses him on the cheek. It was so cute.
Well, she didn't want to commit. She's leaving him forever.
Right. And he has to go into hiding.
Yeah, now he's like,
I think he deserved a little more than
I'm taking
cheek kiss.
Did he?
Yeah.
He deserved...
He killed some people. He protected
her
them.
and her baby.
He brought them out into the woods.
That is, I think,
I risked his life a lot.
I think this is the most vulnerable we've seen Adalind yet.
Mm-hmm.
And
even when she didn't have powers.
Yeah, she was still like, I'll kill you with a knife, and not with my magical Hexenbeast powers. She just is ready to, like, she's ready to do whatever she can. And it's because she's now a mother.
Yeah.
But we get her on the plane, and we're sitting there like, oh God, she killed her mom, and she poisoned her daughter-in-law, and this is so awkward. And then they just don't know each other in the slightest bit, which I guess they didn't cross paths.
Yeah, they never did.
Like, did they? I mean, she killed her mom.
Yeah, which is great later on when they take her to Nick's house.
When everyone starts to piece together. So wait, I did. Oh, and then but she did. Ooh, this is bad.
Well, Adalind still doesn't know that she killed her mom.
Yeah, but she will soon.
She will soon.
Yeah, I'm sure that Renard is ready to fill her in. And Victor, meanwhile, has his guy that he's just ready to kill, or he just does kill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By the most gruesome way possible for letting them get away. He just. No, he doesn't even just. He's like,
you guys,
guard dogs. Rip his throat open with your teeth.
Yeah.
It really just is trying to show us how Victor doesn't really care about people unless they're useful to him.
Yeah. The instant they screw up, no excuses. Like, he knows what he's going to say as an excuse. And he's just like, you're going to die now.
Which is exactly the, argument about why he wants the baby. He doesn't care about Adalind. He cares about the baby.
And not even really caring about the baby, but caring about the powers that the baby has.
The fact that there is a baby, not the baby itself.
Yeah. So much to go on with the baby, and Victor's like, he's gonna chase them down.
Yeah.
And they take off in the plane, not sure where they go, and we're gonna find out where they go after a quick break to talk about iTunes.
Yeah.
Ooh. That was a Seacrest-esque little teaser. You'll have to stick around. Don't skip this. Just stick through while we talk about iTunes. Guys, we do this podcast for you. We want it to be the best podcast it can be for you. And here at AfterBuzz, we put together over 70 hours of free content a week. Free content. I challenge you. I challenge any of you to listen to all of it in a week. Try, and you will never make it unless you have no job. I guess it's possible.
Or hobbies.
And you don't need to sleep.
Or sleep.
Or eat.
Well, you could listen while you eat. You can listen while you're having lunch. Well, if you work somewhere that you can just listen to stuff.
You can listen in your sleep. Take it all in through osmosis.
You could, yeah. You could try that. But we do this podcast for you, and we want it to be the best that it can be. We want to help you, and so we need your help as well. We need you to go on to iTunes, go on to YouTube, rate, subscribe, tell your friends about AfterBuzz. Even if they don't watch Grimm, you should get them to watch Grimm.
You should.
And then you should get them to then listen to the AfterBuzz show about Grimm.
Yeah.
They've got about 3 seasons, about 60 episodes of TV to catch up on, but they can do it.
Yeah,
I
that's not
believe
bad.
in them, as I believe in you,
Binge
to
watch.
give us good ratings and to help us to tell us what you want to hear more of. Do you want more Yael? Do you want more Dillon? Do you want me to be louder like Matt Lieberman?
No.
They say
but
no.
we issued a challenge.
We did issue a challenge.
The challenge was if we can get 100 reviews on iTunes, that is 100 reviews on iTunes, I will do everything in my power at San Diego Comic-Con to talk to the cast of Grimm and get us something awesome for the show. Hopefully one of them to come on
Yeah,
the
we'll
show.
interview them. I'll be
Ooh.
there in the background photobombing, just waving my arms.
Yeah, he will pull a Benedict
Yelling
Cumberbatch.
questions.
It'll be great.
Hey guys, what did you think about
Yeah. Why doesn't Nick know? Why doesn't he ask this?
Nick? Ask more questions.
Will one
So-
of you put me on like Skype on your phone so I can yell too?
Yes. So 100 reviews.
And it also the added bonus of giving us a review on iTunes is that you get a shout out
Shout out.
on the
Heck yeah.
show. So this week we have a couple. Shane JM says, "Love this Grimm podcast, 5 stars.
Ooh.
Thanks to the host of the AfterBuzz TV Grimm podcast. Your knowledge and love for everything Grimm is greatly appreciated. This is one of my
Aw.
favorite
Aw.
AfterBuzz TV podcasts."
That's
That's
Yeah.
nice. I like that person.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shane. DJ NVZ, I don't know if that's a pronounceable word, but says, "LOL on the turtle comment, 5 stars.
Yes.
Love you guys, great podcast." Yes, we did start talking about how if they ever have a turtle vest, and it's basically a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
One day there will be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle vessin.
Yeah.
I've seen the trailer.
We're not gonna get started about that. I could go on for another hour just about that trailer.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that back up.
Aisha Z says, "Amazing podcast, 5 stars. My husband and I love Grimm, and I love listening to the podcast on my way to work." So you can listen on your way to work while
see?
you're driving.
Yeah.
So many opportunities. I know if you're in LA, you got at least an hour of traffic no matter where you're going
Yep.
for
Yeah,
work.
5 minutes down the street.
Yeah, you can
is
listen
an
to
hour.
2 AfterBuzzes a day on your commute.
And if you're in San Francisco, you can be using Muni and listen to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can listen to us on the subway if you're in New York, or if you're just sitting around in a cornfield in the middle of Wisconsin, wherever you are. You
Nice.
can listen to
That's pretty
AfterBuzz.
good.
Yeah.
She says, "The discussion and predictions are so much fun to listen to. I also wanted to say that I love when the writers include history into the plot line, like Vessin being gods. So much fun. Thanks for the awesome podcast."
Did you write that one?
It was you.
This person knows what's up. They know what they want, and I agree. I agree so much, Aisha. More history lessons on Grimm.
Yay.
Okay.
But we don't have history lessons this week. We have a plane traveling through the air, and it's first headed to Brazil.
Yeah.
But Kelly knows that if they know where the plane was going to pick them up, inevitably they must know where the plane is going.
Yep.
Makes sense. She doesn't trust to radio into the resistance because she doesn't know who the leak was. So she's like, change of course. And this is when I started to go, Kelly, I think you're skipping some stuff here. Not thinking it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's like, the less we know about each other, the better. I don't know that that's true, because if you'd at minimum ask, like, you're all on the same plane.
Right.
Right.
There's no leak of information from here. You know that she's a hexen beast. You at least know. You have to at least know that.
Yes.
But she doesn't think to ask, where are you from?
So we cannot go there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because even if like you think Nick's place would be safe, because like, and of course she's gonna go to Portland when she's like, we've got 4 extra tanks. We have a long range because they're in the middle of Europe.
Yeah.
Right.
Going
They're almost
to
over the edge of
They
Portugal.
almost could have gone the other way.
Yeah.
They almost could have just gone over China and stuff.
Yeah.
Check where she's. You know she's American. Maybe going to a random place in America might lead to issues.
Maybe go to Canada. That would have been a smart choice.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to have other people that. I mean, I guess there's no one you can trust more than her son.
Right.
And that's fair. We know that she knows how good Nick is, and that he would protect someone. I don't think she could possibly imagine that they are connected, but you have to at least ask.
Yeah. No, it was very silly of her to, oh, we're going to go to the States. This girl's American. Let's not find out what state.
Or even like just because she doesn't tell her because she wants to protect her or whatever, but when she gets there, she's gonna know where they are.
Yeah.
She's gonna see the Oregon license plate and piece it together.
She didn't say anything. That was what was silly also.
I don't think that Adalind could I give more of a pass to Adalind not knowing that, well, this random person who I don't know, there's no way she's going to take me to that one person's house that I couldn't possibly deal with.
But when they get to Oregon and she goes, "Oh, you know Sean Renard," and she goes, "No, that's not, I don't know who that is." And that should have been the sign for Kelly. Like, clearly she knows people here. We should leave here.
Yes,
Right.
that is. But again, like, if she knows anyone in that city, you have to imagine that Victor is going to be able to track her back there. Mm-hmm. Although once they're there,
the Royals, we already know the Royals know about Grimm. Nick, the Grimm in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another, like, let's just bring him to the Grimm. Wouldn't that be the first place? I wonder where they took him.
Because I don't think they connect Nick and the Resistance at all. They don't think Nick is working with the Resistance, and he's not.
Yeah,
he
he's
has
not.
some ties to the Resistance for
Right.
sure. But even his mother, even Kelly, is not like deep in the Resistance. She's more just like a freelancer working with them.
Yeah, she got recruited, she said.
Because she says later, she's like, I don't want the Resistance to have this baby. I don't want the Royals to have this baby. This baby should just grow up as a person.
Which led me to a prediction I'll save for later.
Ooh.
We will get there. We
Yeah.
will absolutely get. There's so many, like, so much to predict. But so that, and then as soon as they walk in, and this was a really well built where it's like they're in the rain, and she covers her with the jacket, so that, because I feel like Adalind would have known if she'd been looking where she was going.
Yeah.
Like, I should not go in this house right now. Because she's covering her, like, we don't want anyone to see you, but it's
Right.
raining, so we can protect you.
We also don't want the baby to get wet.
Which it did anyway.
It did
so.
anyway.
Right. Whatever.
It was pouring out, like, yeah.
Yeah. The baby couldn't have, like, made a bubble to protect them. Just saying, baby.
Super baby.
Which I want to talk, once we get through this, I want to just talk about the baby and
Yeah.
the whole thing.
But
we get inside, and we do get, before this, we get a little flashback.
Flashback, yeah.
Crazy flashback. First of all, just going to say it, young Kelly, very attractive.
Young Kelly was played by Gloria Votsis, who you might recognize from White Collar. She played Alex. She's super hot.
Yeah.
You should.
I'm not
Google her.
going to go further down that rabbit hole, but yeah.
Google her.
It was a great little scene of like young Nick and young Marie, who we haven't even talked about in forever.
Yeah, Aunt Marie.
Also, Kelly said something very interesting when Adalind asked if she had kids. Kelly said, "My sister did."
That was weird, and I wonder, do you guys think that that's like a tease?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I
I'm
wondered
like,
the
I
same
got my
thing.
hands like,
Oh, I'm so excited.
So many possibilities.
I was wondering if Aunt Marie was in trouble when she had Nick, if she had Nick, gave it to her sister who stayed out of the Grimm spotlight. But then maybe the Grimm stuff caught up with her. Then they switched kids back. Oh, go back to your Aunt Marie. I mean, that could have happened.
But I feel like, I instantly thought that.
Yeah.
But
then
I feel like at some point since Aunt Marie died and like and mom disappeared, I feel like at some point you tell him
Nope.
that. No?
Nope. I think that's a season 3 type of story.
unless she was just referring to that she didn't get to raise him from being a young teenager to an adult.
That's what I was thinking. I don't think it was. I didn't hear it as a giant reveal because it wasn't treated that way.
I think it was supposed to be like, this might be a big reveal. Hold on to this nugget.
And I think
That's
it
what
was
I
also her dodging the question to a certain degree of not wanting to say, yes, I had a kid. Less revealed, the better.
Right.
I'm going to say no. Kelly is still Nick's mom.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yael, you're disagreeing?
I'm disagreeing.
Okay.
But
all right.
I think that is a prediction that we will get into in season 3, probably. I hope.
You mean
That's
this
4.
season?
Season 4, I apologize.
Because well, if they're going to reveal it, if that's going to be the twist, I think we will get it this season. If that's going to be a thing, they just teased it.
Yeah.
I think they'll pay it off before we finish the season.
And then it'll be more explained.
It'll be an issue
Yeah,
next season when I hope we get more Grimms.
Yes, I want more
Please.
Grimms too. I want to see more Grimms. So she's like, "Oh, we're on the plane. Where can we go?" Well, there's only one other Grimm in all of the world. Let's go to his house. Like, there has to be more.
Yeah.
I'm reminded this is a random poll, but like there's a quote in Free Trauma. There's only 20 people around here who would really do anything.
Yeah.
That's the general rule of television, of course.
Yep.
No matter how big the world is, there's only 20 people who do anything. But so they get there, and like Adalind is just, as soon as she sees where they are, she goes, "Oh God." She's, oh God, oh no. Commercial.
Of course.
But like, it's really, and I think that the writers even know, like, this all coming together is a really wishy-washy, like, all over the place thing. That, like, and then that's when Juliette comes in with this big quote, another Carl Jung quote to mirror the opening. She goes, "When two or more events are not causally related, but are connected through meaning, that's synchronicity." And this whole event sequence is synchronicity, to the point where even Juliette is like, "I can't fight this." What did you guys think about how Juliette reacted? They all seemed a little bit calmer than they were collected in their rage.
She's always, I think, collected in her rage, even when she's upset. And I think that it just really shows that, like, they're used to this kind of thing at this point. You know, they're used to things happening to them that they don't want, and people interfering with their lives. And I think it was great that they interrupted the proposal.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Nick took out that ring, because, like, they finally brought up again that these two are sort of engaged.
Yeah.
She said no, now she knows. She still hasn't said yes.
Well, she said, didn't she say, correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember. Did she say yes at some point? Weren't they engaged for a while?
No. She said no because she felt that he was holding something back.
Thank you.
And
Thank
now
you.
that she knows everything, he was like, "Hey," and she's like,
But
"No,
he's still
I'm not."
got that ring chilling there, and
Yeah.
they're both like, "We'll deal with that later."
One
which was
wedding
like,
at a
if I was
time.
Nick, I'm like, that was a messed up thing to say.
Well, she
I'm
was
sad
saying
now.
that, like, when things settle down, they'll be able to have a wedding, but things are never going to settle down. So I think it's going to eventually be one of those.
Well, she's saying one wedding at a time, which
Yeah.
is a little bit more reasonable.
Right. But
At
I think
least.
that the next time he brings it up, she's going to be like, "Well, stuff keeps getting in the way." And then he's going to say something along the lines of, "Stuff's always going to get in the way." And then,
It felt like a network now. It's like one wedding at a time, guys. Yeah. We got to spread this out.
yeah.
We got to have a wedding event in this December.
Yeah.
So save it for
Yeah.
season 4. We just got renewed. Come on. Save
Perfect.
something for down the line. That was what their teasers like, "Don't you want another wedding?"
Weddings are really big.
Yeah, we
ever since last
do.
year's Game of Thrones.
Too soon.
Well, it's not too soon.
not too
but
soon,
We're
it
not
comes
gonna,
back.
no. Spoilers for anybody that doesn't watch Game of Thrones yet.
I didn't see
Also, too soon.
a year later.
But so as they're dealing with that, and they get this crash of Nick's new proposal, they're like, they get barged in on, and then the baby. There's like more with the baby, and let's get through this with this whole plot line, because like they discuss
Yes.
the importance of it, and then Adalind runs out the door or out the window with another baby mirage.
Oh yeah, the baby
Yeah.
mirage. That was awesome.
Juliet's like cradling a pillow. Hey Nick,
That was hilarious.
this was a baby.
That was great.
Why did the baby do that?
To provide her an escape.
But
to
I mean,
give them to buy
she was
time.
already gone.
It was
Did
to buy time.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Again, any time, like that 2 seconds could have been, they could have gotten to that truck. Any time is valuable time, Dillon.
The
Yeah.
baby, it could have done something better than that, I think.
Whatever.
And who knows, they might have like come in,
Whatever.
seen the baby, and then run downstairs or something.
Oh right.
But so Adalind runs, and of course she's going to see Renard. And she does, and she hands him his baby. And she confirms that it's his baby, like again.
Let's be honest. She hasn't done any tests.
Yeah.
She can claim it's his baby as much as she wants.
But timing-wise, she would know, wouldn't she?
She slept with both the brothers.
Close enough together, though?
Yes. Until there is a DNA test.
I want to see the test.
Yeah.
Let's put him on Maury.
That would be a
Sean
season.
Renard, you are not the father.
Oh!
You are not the father of the new leader of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that to be a great, like, almost like not the season finale, but like penultimate twist of this season. Like, be like, sorry, Sean. it's not yours. And
Yeah.
he's like, what? And he just like goes crazy. What's he called? Zauberbeast?
Something like that.
Something.
It
Male
means, yeah, it means like
beast?
wizard beast.
Yeah, it's not a Hexenbeast. Hexenbeasts are female.
Right.
Zauberbeast.
Yes.
Which I was like, I heard, I was like, he's a what? Oh, that's right. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's
I
a
thought
man.
He was Hexenbeast. Oh, it's so confusing. But we know in that moment that like he's going to take ownership of this whole situation. Like this is now his baby, and he like in both the baby itself and the whole protection racket is now his.
Yeah, he had
to
a creepy
control.
little smile there at the end.
And that was just an excited smile. Like he was like,
I don't know if it was more excited, more it was like, yes, finally,
I guess
my baby.
Which Juliette points out, you were right, that she would be the one to point it out, that there's still no name for the baby.
And she still, even after you pointed out, was like, no.
No, there was
I
no
mean,
time.
Adalind hasn't given it. She doesn't seem to have given it a thought.
She was pregnant for 9 months, didn't have
Yeah,
it
that's the
one
thing. Like, I
time.
get not
6
to.
months.
I get
So,
not.
yeah,
Yeah.
6 months, you're right.
Again, well, I guess okay. We could buy that. 6 months in, you're not really deciding. You're like, I got time
I got
to
time.
make a big decision like that. She might have some candidates. Who knows?
These three if it's a girl, these three if it's a
If
boy.
Nick saves the day somehow in the season finale, she's like, I'm calling her Nikki.
It's never happened.
No, I don't think it will. But it would
Kelly.
be funny. Ooh.
Oh, gosh.
Name your baby after the woman who killed its grandmother.
I was going to say, if anything, she's going to name it after her mom.
That's not twisty enough for me.
Boring.
But let's talk about the baby.
Yeah.
Like this baby has so much power. Like Kelly talks about it. Like this is not just like, we see. Does it have like a magnet ability? Is it like Magneto?
It seemed like it has something to do with electrical things.
Which magnets
So,
totally control.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm thinking like whatever it can do is somehow based in like it seems to like make magnets explode. It moves knives and guns a lot.
That's
It
true.
bends a spoon.
It is Magneto.
This baby is Magneto.
But with creepy demon eyes.
This has been a Marvel show all along.
Next episode on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of Grimm.
I'd watch that 10 times a week. But like what I mean, then she talks about how it's going to just be able to it's going to have a personality that is just charismatic. She basically implies that this baby could be either the next Winston Churchill or the next Hitler based on how it's raised. I mean, that's an interesting point. Like if you took somebody like Churchill and put him in a negative environment, could he grow up to be a Hitler?
Maybe.
If he's raised in hatred, around hatred, if Hitler was raised in a nice family, could he have been a good person? It's a fair question of like somebody that has that much ability to command others, ignoring the whole Hitler and Coins of Xanthos thingy, but somebody who just naturally has that much charisma could use that in one way or another. And they're, again, the whole thing we're talking about with the Grimm's eyes, it's very nice, the comparison, the parallels here, because this baby is what it is deep inside. We don't know yet. We don't know what that whole crazy process that Adalind went through, what it did to this kid. Do you think the process is what gave it the powers?
So I think it was really interesting that they brought up that she was going through this restoring process while she was pregnant, and that probably amplified the baby's powers. Because if Sean is the father, then that means the baby is, what, 3/4
Yeah, because
Hexenbeast?
it can't be that it can't be, the important thing can't be that it's part Hexenbeast and part Royal, because Sean's part Hexenbeast, part Royal, and they don't
Right.
care about him. He's
Yeah.
just a
No,
dude.
he's-
And they could have another royal offspring if they wanted, right?
Maybe.
Like Victor could just go like get a harem and like have a boatload of royal babies.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it could also be that the royals can't have offspring, which is why it's so
Maybe.
Or
interesting.
it's very, very rare.
Because that's the thing we talked about.
Maybe
was
it's
about
difficult.
the fact that the royals are mad and what it is.
We haven't seen it. Well, yeah, we haven't met a female royal, have
Right. That's what I'm saying.
we? Interesting.
Yeah, because Renard's mom was the Hexenbeast, right?
Yeah.
They talked about
We've
that.
never met a female royal. We haven't even talked about a female royal
and we'll
yet.
never be royals.
Oh, someone had to do it.
Get out! Get out!
I had to.
It was running through my head, but I went, nope.
Thanks.
If we had a pun jar, that would have been like $8 right there. I would have fined you so much.
I would have paid with a hug.
Well done. Anyway.
Thanks, guys.
But like, it's going to be interesting to see what this baby, like, this is going to be, the baby is essentially going to, I feel like it's going to be a thread for the time, like, as far as we can see. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless we get it into some crazy safe environment, which I guess is possible, but that would totally close off its storyline unless you drop it into there are some Angel writers that are involved in Grimm. If they drop it into an alternate universe that grows it up 10 years in 5 episodes.
Have other predictions.
Okay. Let's wait. Well, let's get into predictions. Let's just drop right in.
And now,
because we're gonna be here for a little while.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So Yael, you've been teasing your predictions.
Yeah.
So I want you to start off.
All right.
Okay.
Here's what I'm thinking. The baby is going to be raised by the 2 nicest people we know on the show.
Monroe and Rosalee?
Rosalee?
No.
Oh.
I thought they were the.
Nick and Juliette.
Oh. I think Rosalee's nicer than.
Yeah, they're totally nicer.
They're nicer. But Kelly will drop the baby into, she needs a safe place that's not royals, that's not Hexenbeast, that's not whatever. Where can we find a mostly human, very safe household?
Very safe, very normal household.
Mm-hmm. Would be with a Grimm and a human.
And that's definitely a messed up situation.
Yeah.
That's like straight out of a sitcom. Well, he's a Grimm, she's a human, and their baby is the future of humanity.
So
and a demon.
That is my
And a demon.
and a demon. That was one of my theories. So my other prediction is not the parallel universe like Angel, but something more along the lines of the fairies on True Blood, or I don't remember what her name is from.
This baby did come out in a third of the time.
Yeah.
So so that would mean 3 years to the 1 year ratio. We get like a little Jack thing going on here.
So this baby could just.
But that's even then, like 3 seasons down the line, it's 9 years old.
So I'm not thinking a 3 to 1. I'm thinking that it just grows on its
exponential.
own. Yeah.
So like it's a toddler by the time we get back to, or it's a toddler. It's like a
13-year-old.
It's like a kindergartner by our first episode of season 4. By the end of season 4, it's like an older teenager.
I think you guys are trying to mathematically figure it out, whereas
yes.
I think it's more of a Grimm thing where they can steal from other sci-fis and fantasies, where it's just gonna all of a sudden it's a teenager, all of a sudden it's an adult. No math, no
as
whatever.
long as they can explain it and make it not sound like they're just pulling it out of nowhere.
They're gonna explain it. If this is what happens, they're gonna explain along the lines of, this baby is special.
Because it's a super convenient thing to happen.
Yeah.
And like it was on Angel, where he just is magically an adult with daddy issues. Mm-hmm. It would be interesting. It would certainly raise the tensions up.
Yep.
As we're going.
Those are my predictions.
The big other thing we have to for next week, what we saw was, we heard you try to take this child. It's not gonna go well.
Mm-hmm.
Says it to Nick in the hallway while he's got a gun like behind his back, so he knows Nick is coming and he knows what Nick's there for.
Yeah.
That's the other kind of messed up thing, is that like Renard is like, now, well, is he gonna go back to being our bad guy?
That'd be cool.
That could be. I mean, he was our bad guy for so long.
Yeah, but he was never actually that bad.
But he was our bad guy. He was our like anti-person. He was the other side. He was the one we were fighting. It wouldn't be out of the question to go back to that, would it?
I don't know. I feel like there's no point in making him the bad guy when he's not like villainous.
But we know that. But this is the thing about bad guys: is the best villains are the ones that you can relate to, that you can understand why. And if he does these bad things to protect a child, we would totally understand. And like,
I don't want it.
you like Renard, I get it, but like he could, if he thinks that it's threatening, maybe I mean, maybe he goes south. Maybe we lose Renard.
He's going to have
shut
to
your
quit
mouth.
the police force.
Well,
I'm not tired of them
it's
struggling.
It's almost too bad that him and Adalind can't just like raise the baby as loving parents.
Meisner.
Yeah, what about
How
him?
dare you? I am really sad to say that I predict he won't be back by the end of the season.
Meisner?
Yeah.
No more Meisner.
He did wander off.
He had to
into
go
the
into
woods.
hiding.
Yeah, to go into hiding. They've sort of put him on ice as a character. They could bring him back at any time when they need to.
And I think that they will because they know that the fans love him, not just me.
It's definitely one of those moments of synchronicity where we got a little, we started to like him, but we didn't know what to do with him. And now he's in our minds. We're going to remember him.
Yeah.
We also got Adalind screaming. We got the police lined up looking at some kind of presentation. So that made me think that Nick and Renard are going to be working together to like hunt down if the baby gets kidnapped or something, and they get the whole police force in on it.
It looks like there's going to be a royal battle in Portland.
Ooh.
Or a battle royale, as
you
the
go.
teaser said.
Whatever.
Either way.
Grimm versus Vesson this Friday at 8 o'clock.
Nice.
And with that,
Yes,
we're
with
going to
that.
call it a wrap. And we'll see you guys next week. Dillon, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Dillon Chance.
Yael, where can the people find you?
The people can find me online at Yael.tv and on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at Yael Tygiel. That's YaelTygiel.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at @ZachWilson, and also here at AfterBuzz on Archer, and later tonight, Resurrection. I'm Zach Wilson, and thanks for geeking out with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.